Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Disney Plus Project. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy our videos, make sure you give us a like and a comment down below, and let us know how we're doing. So, this week I ended up watching, actually just today, I literally just finished watching a National Geographic show called Weird But True, I believe is what it was called. Yeah, Weird But True. And I picked it because it was a little shorter, and I hadn't watched anything yet. But also just because that was one of the ones that caught my eye. And it was a little strange. And it's definitely meant for a younger audience. The acting, the scripting in it, and the acting in it is really over the top. It's like I said, it's very obvious that they were going for a younger audience. Like, some of the ways that they described some of the things that they were talking about, which in this episode was about space rocks. It was about asteroids and comets and meteoroids and everything like that. And the way that they were describing the differences in them and like describing what they were and describing like different things, like the impact events and different things, it was very, very obvious that it was meant for a younger audience. But that didn't make it any less entertaining. It was entertaining and it was interesting. Like, there's you learn a lot of interesting facts in it. And so it wasn't a bad show. It was just very over the top, like kid level. And I wasn't necessarily prepared for that. And so it just kind of threw me while I was watching it. But it's something that I would watch a little more of it. I don't know that I would actually just sit down and watch it all the time. But it's something that I would watch a little more of. It was pretty interesting. Every episode, so it's these two, I don't know if they're actually brother and sister. I didn't actually look to see, or do any research to see if they were actually brother and sister. But in the show, the two hosts are brother and sister that go out and essentially do, like, search out science facts and different things. And this one was space rocks. The next one I think was going to be about storm chasers. Yeah, storm chasers. And they go and research just different things, and they go and meet up with experts in different fields and talk to them about whatever it is that they're researching at the time. So they went and talked to an expert meteorite hunter. And he actually took them out to what they call just a meteorite training ground, where there's some other people that have gone out and buried meteorites for people in the training to go out and find and discover for themselves, so that he can teach them how to search for meteorites. And so that's what he was doing with them, is he had them each with a metal detector, because meteorites all have iron in them. And so he had them each with a metal detector and a pick hammer, I think he called it. Or a rock hammer. That was like really strongly magnetic. And so they went through and they were just sweeping along with the metal detectors, and they would find something and they would kind of dig up and see if the first thing they found was, it looked like a coat hanger. They just called it he just called it a wire. And then of course it does the dad joke of, you know what we call this isn't a meteorite, but you know what we call it? And they said, what? And he said, a meteor wrong. And I was just like, ugh, that was a little too on the nose for me. I don't know. It was, but then they were each able, the brother and the sister were each able to find a meteorite while they were out there, which was pretty cool for them. It taught them how to search for meteorites themselves. And then he was kind of teaching them, like, kind of what happens and what a meteorite is made up of and different things like that. And then they got to go to Winslow, Arizona, I think, which is where the largest meteorite crater on Earth is located. And the largest and most well-preserved is what it is. So it wasn't the largest ever, but it's the most well-preserved. All the other craters have all been, like, reburied, like winds blown more sand and dirt and debris into them and filled them up and different things. But the crater in Winslow, Arizona is like 3 miles around and a full mile across and about 550 feet deep. So it's a massive crater, and they got to go out and meet up with a tour guide who's been doing tours around there for like 20 years. And so they got to explore this crater and everything. It was actually really cool. And he was describing to them like what direction the meteorite would have been coming and what would have happened in order to create that crater at impact. And so it was really, really cool to watch. But again, it was just so goofy, and like, I know there were some things that, like, yes, it was really, really fascinating, but it's just, I think just the sheer level of goofiness in it, even if that's a word, just kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. Like, to the point that I wasn't as into it as I would have been if it was an actual just serious show, where it was like more like the last one that I watched with Lost Cities, where he was actually going and searching these things out, and and it wasn't made for kids. I think that's the thing. If it wasn't necessarily made for a younger audience, I probably would have enjoyed it more, because it wouldn't have pulled me out of it, because they're just over the top bad acting and bad scripting, which is all intentional because it was for a younger audience. But all of that just pulled me out of it to the point that I couldn't fully enjoy it. But it wasn't the worst thing I could. Like I said, I would watch some more of it, because it wasn't a bad show by any means. It was good, but I don't know. It pulls you out of it. So, but I'd recommend giving it a shot. It was pretty decent to watch, and I don't know when it was. The original season was 2017. I don't know when the second season was. I didn't actually look at that, but they do have two seasons on Disney Plus. So, I might just like pick and choose some other random ones to watch. Maybe if it's something that I'm actually like interested in or something like that. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts around that. Like I said, it's just a little goofy, but it's something that's worth giving it a shot, especially if you have kids and the kids are starting to get interested in like science and stuff. It might be a show that they might be interested in. So anyway, thank you all for joining me this week. I hope to see you all again next week, but until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.